Hello, welcome back again, and we are going to continue with our next question. I hope you've watched the previous questions and I hope they were really beneficial to you. So I'm going to start right away with the next question. And that's going to be, what are your salary expectations? Now, all the times I did job interviews, I hated this question. I hated this question because, first of all, for example, if somebody asks you, what are your salary expectations? If you give a very high price, you have a feeling they will not give you the job because maybe you asked for a lot of money. And if you give a very low price, that's what they're going to give you. And you don't want a very low price. So I came up with this research. Well, I no longer go for job interviews, but since you're watching this video, it means you have to answer this question at some point. So one thing you should do before you go for the job interview is you should research the starting salary of this particular job before going for the interview. And this is most especially if you have some experience, because if you research, for example, I'm an English teacher, try to research English teachers in maybe Turkey, in your city, because it also changes according to which city you're in and which school you're teaching, if it's a primary school, a language school, etc. So try to research before you go for this job interview. If you don't research, you're going to end up falling into a trap that I fell into. I'm going to tell you this story at the end of this slide. And if you have some experience, then at least you have bargaining power, you know what exactly you want, then you can comfortably maybe talk about a salary expectation based on your previous job. And here the next thing says, always say yes as per the company norms for the job. This is for beginners, and if you don't research, you're going to end up being trapped with this because you have no idea what's the starting salary. And I would also advise you to ask a few friends, if you have friends maybe doing the same job, or they have people they know that are doing the same job. Try to research before you go for the job interview, or you're going to fall in a trap. So let's try to look at the sample answer. For example, if you have zero working experience, you may give this answer. And the other thing before we read the answer, for example, in my culture, we don't comfortably talk about money because we think if you want a lot of money, it means you're greedy. But it's not, it doesn't mean that. Try to get comfortable with this just in case you have the same problem, because you have to sustain your living. If you don't get the salary, then you're not going to have motivation to come to do this job, and you're going to have problems in your personal life. For example, you can't take care of yourself, you can't maybe afford certain things that you really need, and this will put you in a difficult working position. So just get comfortable with talking about money. This is a lesson I'm just learning. In the past, I used to avoid it. Anyway, so if you have no experience, try to give such an answer. Salary is not first priority for me. This is a big platform to start my career, and I also want to improve my knowledge and skills and gain experience. So I expect a considerable salary according to my ability and your company's norms, which will fulfill my economical needs. So if you don't want to talk about money, you may give such an answer, and hopefully the person won't play games with you. Let me tell you what happened to me when I couldn't answer this question. So I go for a job interview and I'm asked, how much money do you expect? I looked at my previous job. It was a part-time job. I will just give examples. I will not give the exact amount because this might be strange to that person if they watch this video. Anyways, so my previous, I was getting 500. So I thought, let me just throw out a number. I didn't research before going for this interview. So I was like, I think that times 3 would be good. I told the guy 1,500. And this was going to be a full-time job. Later on, I learned the starting salary for most of the people that were working in that place was 3,000, the starting salary. So I told the person 500, and I mean 1,500, and they said, I will. They added just a little bit, and they said, well, our starting salary is this, but it wasn't their starting salary. So you should research before you go for any job interview. And besides that, usually companies have a policy of increasing your salary when you work with them longer. So if, for example, you start from, let's say, 1,500, if it gets to the day to increase your salary and they do, let's say, 6% in salary increment, it means, for example, you began with 1,500, just do 6% of 1,500. If I had started from 3,000, like the other employees, it would be 6% of 3,000. It would give me a different figure. So please, please, please research before you go for the job interview, or you're going to fall into a trap or difficult situation. Once again, thanks for listening, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more videos like this and advice, simply advice. So goodbye. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and share with a couple of friends that have just graduated. This is very important advice that you will not learn in any school. Thanks for watching.